It is November 13th. I am Mark Stewart Greenstein, candidate for Connecticut governor. Welcome to the Stewart for Liberty campaign. We do these messages 6 days a week. We call it the Daily Fire. And today I want to talk about Hartford. Not the legislature, but the city and its finances. In short, I think they should declare bankruptcy. Federal government gives them Chapter 9 protection, and I think Hartford will be better by unburdening itself with these horrible contracts that its leaders stuck its people with. Notice I said leaders. People of Hartford, hardworking, vibrant, those who stayed are dedicated to making it better. I'm with you. I want that to happen. And bankruptcy, though officially it's a stigma, it's going to free you to do better things with money. The stigma is already there anyway. Okay, creditors are pretty leery about loaning money. Following a Chapter 9 reorganization, it's not going to be any different. They're still going to be afraid, but maybe less afraid if it's known that Hartford is on the right track, that new leaders or old leaders with a better mindset are more trustworthy. They're not going to spend into oblivion. That is what Chapter 9 reorganization should do. Hartford deserves the reorganization even more so than the bankruptcy protection. They have mismanaged too many things. I'm on top of sports, okay? They have mismanaged a stadium build. They have had another stadium, Dillon, that they've been running, have money stolen from them. They can't run an XL center, even with good sporting events at break even. They lose $2 million a year on it. On the education side, it's even worse. And though my experience is very tangential, I know that they do an overload of programs, spend money on, for example, 5 different SAT courses for kids, when one will do. They have 3 different advisors for a student, when one, maybe 2, will do. And the students remain just as uncounseled as before, and maybe even confused. Management makes a difference, and Hartford can and should be better managed. Now, I want this to be applied to the state. The state doesn't have the benefit of bankruptcy protection. State can't go bankrupt, okay? So it, right now, has to work itself out of the bad course it's put itself in. And again, this is the leaders. Leaders mostly on the Democrat side, but there are a lot of Republicans to blame too for spending other people's money. Unborn people for things that we should spend if it's deserved now and not be borrowing 10, 20, 30 years from now. It's immoral. If I'm governor, there is no spending that isn't made up within 1 year. And that's a message to all legislators. Whether you have an income tax, a sales tax, a wealth tax, if you are going to incrementally spend more, you just raised taxes. Okay? It is an equating. The right regime is that for every amount spent per capita higher, there is then an amount taxed per capita higher. And it's across the board. You can't go taxing just some people and letting other people skate. That kind of provision, if it hit me on my desk, veto. Responsible spending did not happen in the last 15 years, okay? Governor Rell, Governor Rowland, you are very responsible for shepherding deficits that we're paying for now. And Governor Weicker, he was the worst, okay? Because he insidiously sucked us into having a state income tax in the first place. We didn't need it. Since it's been imposed, our finances haven't gotten any better. If I'm governor, I'm pushing for a 0 income tax on personal. 3% on corporate. Okay, now I can only do that with less spending. So that's the first priority. Whatever the taxes that the legislature decide, that is their priority, the enforcement of it has to be across the board. Again, if I have my way, no personal income taxes. It will be suspended while I am governor. I'm happy to talk about this more. Where? Well, we've got our Stewart for Liberty conferences every Tuesday at 11, every Friday at 5. And if you'd like to meet in person, I propose a place, Hartford. How about it? We can go back to the same, pubs that I used to inhabit. I grew up in West Hartford. College was spent legally in a lot of the Hartford pubs because back then, under 21 was okay to drink. I never needed to put a fake ID in front of somebody. So, join me. Legitimate. Russian Lady, December 22nd. City Steam, December 8th. We'll have a bunch more in January and February. I'd love to see you. Until then,